Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Ready to Emerge Detour Essentials Live. We are on episode number, this isn't episode number 4, is it?
4.
Yes.
Just 4? I feel like we've done at least 5.
A 4.
No, 4. This is our 4th.
Wow. So welcome to episode number 4 of season 7 of Emerge Detour Essentials Live. Last week we emerged with the trio, and we'll introduce ourselves in a minute if you're joining for the first time, just so that you know who we are. We had a really great conversation just talking about how we have emerged ourselves over the last 2 years. So we learned a lot about each other, and some of us have some deliverables that need to be met within the next 3 months, aka books that are being written. So we have to hold our Emerge trio accountable for those things. So if you're joining us for the first time ever, which I mean, we're happy to have you, but this is season 7, so there's a lot more episodes that you can catch up on. We're here every Wednesday when we're in season at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we stream live on our YouTube channel and also on Facebook at Ready to Emerge. So if you are joining for the first time, please take a minute to like, subscribe, and share our channel, share this episode. We have an amazing guest waiting backstage, someone we wanted to have on the show for a while. So we're super, super excited about tonight's episode. But we don't want to pretend like you already know who we are. So let's do a quick introduction of the Emerge trio. And while we're doing that, please let us know where you are streaming from, where you're joining us from in the chat. I know we have friends and family that watch from Jamaica, from the US, from the Caribbean, sometimes London. So let us know where you're joining from. And before we get into the intro, I just want to say a big, big thank you to our Detour Essentials Live partner, Sagicor. They're back with us for another season, and they're back with us for bigger and better things that Catherine will get into in a minute. So I'm Naomi Garrick, a member of the Emerge trio. I am a PR chick, personal branding coach, PR consultant. Essentially, I'm a brand builder, and I help individuals and companies to build more purposeful and profitable brands. And I'm the mom of Ajani, 16. He's about to finish his exams. I cannot wait to think about exams and SBs, and I can just focus on myself.
Nice.
That's where I'm at right now.
That is very nice. That is very nice.
It
You look very lovely. Fiona says our colors are bright. We look very bright.
Guys, we are in the primary colors. We just need red.
Yes, and we just look bright. We look like flowers in our garden, like some pretty flowers in the garden. We look like that. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I think as you are speaking of flowers in the garden, let's have our yellow flower in the garden introduce herself.
Fiona, this is what my glass says. It says mom, so I'm drinking some mama juice. Keep me safe.
I feel like I'm gonna go and get some mama juice as well.
Catherine, you look beautiful. Look at Catherine's shoulders.
Thank
You
you.
look so beautiful.
You know why too? Catherine doesn't pull her hair back a lot, and this is the first time I've seen her hair back in a long time.
You're stunning.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Catherine, you know, I'm going to teach you something. You know, you're so beautiful. And when people compliment you, you're kind of like, oh, like, are you complimenting me? No, you're like, you're long enough. You're gorgeous. You look very gorgeous. Colorado green with your skin. Okay, what is that green with my skin? Let me just introduce myself. My name is Rochelle, and I'm currently allergic to chocolate. The thing that I probably love most in life, I've taken all kinds of things to make it go away. Since I had Christian, I'm allergic to chocolate. So you see, want something from my nose that I have to say to myself, Rochelle, do not focus on that bit on your nose. Focus on your shoulders. Look at my shoulders. My skin look is so glowing. And I'm put on extra lotion so it would have glow. Oh my gosh, chocolate, dumpling, rice, bread. Those are allergies you need to have. So that I can stop eating those things. But anyway, my name is Rochelle Cameron, also known as Adrenaline Rush. I am the CEO. I got a letter this week that said CEO and founder of Prescient Consulting. And every time I see it, I feel nice. I feel real good.
As you should.
As you should.
Who named CEO me of the desk.
Right.
So I
Right.
am a proud member of the trio. I am an attorney at law, and I've been able to utilize other giftings along with my passion for the law to build HR strategies, help companies with their business development, their strategic development from start straight through. I love building things like Catherine, but Catherine she always says she loves to build things. And I realized that what I'm probably better at, they used to call me Band-Aid. I fix things when it all goes bad. There for you with a smile. So that's me.
That's very true. Hi, everybody. I am Kathy Goodall, and I am a builder of brands, businesses, and people, and a connector of brands, businesses, and people as well. I am a part of the Emerge Trio. I'm also co-founder of Redefined Business Services Limited, which is a strategic agency that helps businesses create processes and implement processes. So let me jump right into the
Like a
exciting news that
dancer. That's
Naomi
what you look like tonight. Like a
You know what
dancer.
the things we're all gonna work on.
Right, Rochelle?
was.
She looks like a dancer. That's what she looks like tonight.
She
Rochelle?
look excellent. We're not getting our business what because me know it's because she's seeing us today on the Wednesday why she look extra fabulous. And I'm really happy for that cat. I like that. But now you said something to me today that's been just plaguing on my mind. Even as we introduce ourselves, that sometimes we still have almost a little trepidation saying, I am the CEO and I am the founder of. And I'm realizing too that if people actually don't know what you do, they don't know how you're there to save their lives or to help their businesses. They don't know the services. And sometimes we get so coy with the concept
With
that
the titles.
and with titles and apart from the titles, the things that we do, and it's something I've struggled with that I am making a concerted effort to work on to just speak about the things that I do. Because as you're saying it, somebody's like, I didn't even know you did that. Can you do that for me? Or that they'll say, okay, you do that. Do you know if somebody else can you do it or can you recommend somebody? And that's how we start a chain reaction to build businesses and build each other because it starts somewhere. And to network.
So whenever I do personal branding workshops, that's one of the questions when we're doing our introductions. I ask people to tell me what they do. And maybe if it's a room of 30, maybe one person will actually say what they do, as in the problem that they solve, while everyone else just says their name and their title. And that's it. And that doesn't tell anybody what you do. So me saying I'm the CEO of Garrett Communications, unless you know Garrett Communications, that means nothing to you. You have no idea what's the problem that I solve through this agency. Yeah. Same thing with Christian, same thing with Redefine. So we have to be, as you said, more comfortable really expressing to people what we actually do, how we can be of service. What's the problem that we solve?
Lord, let me tell you, everybody, Deborah D say, yes, you look all extra pretty tonight. All look extra pretty, especially Catty. Especially Catty. Catty.
You notice every time when I load me up, every time I wear my hair back when I load me up. So guys, remember Naomi said earlier that we had something important to share. And for those of you that are new, you would have heard for the first time today that we are coming back live. Our first Emerge Summit since 2019 is finally here, and we are going to be live on September 18th, Emerging Without Limits at the AC Hotel. We are very grateful to our partner, Sagicor, for coming on board to make this a reality. I mean, it's been 2 years that we've been in hiatus. Basically, we have not been able to have any in-person events, and we are super excited. So look out on all of our platforms at Ready to Emerge for more information, for registration, to be able to buy tickets and what the day is gonna look like. But we will be emerging without limits.
No, I'm so excited.
We're so excited about that. Guys, what are we gonna wear? We're gonna coordinate our outfits, or
I don't know.
Safida already called and said, what are they wearing for the first Emerge? And I was like,
I'm still trying to figure it out. All I know for sure is when my makeup is done, and I'm spun around in the chair and I look in the mirror, I want to say, who's that girl? Who's that girl? Unrecognizable. Yeah. I don't go for natural. I'm like natural. I wake up natural. I want to look like who that girl? Who that girl?
Okay, if she looks at herself after she does her makeup and she recognizes herself, they did not get it.
Come on, let's go. Let's do this all again. I'm very excited about even that process.
Yeah.
Even just the anxiety that comes with it, and the adrenaline and the excitement for it, because when we appear live, it's a completely different build up to it. It's very exciting. And now we have our little bang thing where she got like this.
Oh, I have to fix my hair.
I cannot manage. Where's Catherine? They don't have any.
I don't know. Maybe she can take the pressure of all the compliments and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, you see my laugh a while ago again? You remember I was working on it for 2022?
Yes, you were trying to refine the laugh so it's not so vulgar. Yes.
Is it vulgar though? I just feel like it's.
Rochelle is one of those people that when she starts to laugh, everybody looks. So you better pray it's not you, Shella. That's really what it is.
No, but you know what though, guys? Life is tough, and today I had just one of those days of back to back, but I got my nails done. Yes, Candy got my nails done, which always helps me because when I feel sad, I got nails. But I had to take a moment today, and I had 14 and a half minutes to cry. So I went and did a quick cry. I wasn't sure what I was crying about, but that tears are also a way of speaking to God to say, the list of things. I've got 14 and a half minutes before my next meeting, so I need to kind of fix up for it because I had to turn on my camera. But it was good. It was just refreshing to be able to release. And I'm grateful that I am an emotional person, that I will release and regroup and get it going, because it's a high stress time. There's just so much going on in the world.
It's a lot. It's a lot everywhere, all around. But that was me. I told you today, Rochelle, that I literally just made a last minute decision to take my son, and we escaped to the grill for literally 36 hours. Because I needed to go, and that's where I needed to go. And I tell you, the minute I got into the car, I could already feel the stress kind of just like coming down, like, because it's like I knew that I was going to my space.
Yeah, and that's your thing though. Your Negril space is your
beach for me, but that Negril beach is magic.
Absolute, yeah. So we, sometimes we just have to find the things. So maybe
whatever it is
the year that I will get my proper. But tonight is no laughing matter, ladies. In 2016, I had spoken at an event, and I was interviewed by a lady. She was pregnant at the time. And I remember when she came up to me with a microphone, I thought, what an absolutely stunning human being. Her energy that she brings into a space, you can feel it. Those people that bring the energy, that you can hug the energy. And when she started speaking, first thing I was like, so Lord, when did I give advice? You couldn't give me that advice there. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the absolute pleasure, the honor of having on our platform, where we are the interviewers, the lady who has interviewed just about everybody. You've seen her everywhere. You've seen her hosting. You've seen her on E-Prime. You've seen her on Farm Chicks. Many of you are wondering, how does this lady present? She's almost omnipresent. How does she present herself in so many spaces, always showing up, always bringing it? And she is the lady, Debbie Bissoon. We know her as sister to Rebecca on Farm Chicks. We know her as the voice on E-Prime. We also know her as the premier event hostess. And when Debbie is hosting an event, I have had the pleasure of having her introduce me. So you have to understand that I'm feeling goose pimples that I get this honor tonight to even say her name. You know, we have such amazing talent that has emerged not just from Jamaica, but from the Caribbean. And Debbie can be presented in any space.
Yeah.
She is one of the most flexible and versatile events hostesses that we've ever come across. And she has just paved a path for what the new generation looks like, but also very importantly, paved a path for women. And her ability to pull out information from people, to make people laugh, to make people energized, whether it's in that corporate event, whether it's at our reggae festival, it's Debbie Bissoon. Debbie is mother also to Josiah, and she is premier mother. She, in every space that Debbie presents herself, she presents herself. But she would, because she's a Clarendonian, and when you come from Clarendon, I saw you present yourself. She's also a graduate of the University of the West Indies. And you know how I feel about the University of the West Indies.
We do.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand the excitement it generates from us. That one, she said yes. Two, she is here. And three, you get an opportunity to just have a caption, just a moment in the journey of the life of this queen, Debbie Bissoon. Pot cover time!
No, give me I want to just look under my desk because I want to make sure it's me. Rochelle introduced a while ago. I don't know if it's really me because I've never been introduced in that way ever in my life. Rochelle, we could trade jobs, you know this, right? Never really actually want if it's me introducing, honestly. Oh my God. Emerge, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. Hello,
So happy to
hi.
have you, Debbie.
Thank you for saying yes.
Oh no, Kathy, I mean, who's gonna say no to you? Catherine calls and I'm gonna be like, no, Kathy, I'm not doing it. Really? No, that's not happening.
Oh my God. So Debbie, as Rochelle said in her intro, so much stuff has happened and so much stuff is still happening for you. So it's very hard to even decide where to begin this conversation.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about even your own company, Bissoon Productions. But before we even get into that, because we know you as someone that's just always on the stage, right? So whether it is the stage for E Prime or is hosting an event, as Rochelle mentioned, whether corporate or entertainment, just all the things, or even like I know I recently saw you doing something else. Like it's just things. As Rochelle said, omnipresent. So how did this even start? Like, is this something you always wanted to do? Like, how did you even get into this
Oh
role?
my.
Presenter, host, an MC, and then having your own production company. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a crazy interesting story. Let me just say though that E Prime was about, I'm gonna say without aging myself too much, about 7 years ago or
Right,
more.
because you're now an
Right.
entertainment report, right?
So now I'm doing entertainment reports and
Right.
Weekend Smile. But
Yes.
I started on data on free to air platforms, TVJ, with Entertainment Prime. The truth is, guys, law, that was the first pick. Law was the first pick at Clarendon College. I wanted to do law. And I remember one time Paula and Porter had come to the school to do an outside broadcast. And my literature teacher said to me, Debbie, Paula Ann is here and we want you to MC with her. It was radio at the time. And I said, all right, cool, all right, no problem. I can talk. Talking I can do. So let me go talk, right? And when I started to MC with Paula, it was coming out live on air on Fame. And I remember there were people calling the school asking who was the second presenter because they thought it was somebody who was working on radio. And
Wow.
I had absolutely no interest whatsoever in media. I wanted to do law. As my grandmother said, me chat like Antoinette Arton, and I must go do law because me can chat. So, when I was there and I was doing my thing, and Paula Ann said to me, really, you should consider doing Carmack. And I said, all right, cool, maybe this is a good option. And I remember starting using the intercom at CC doing a Valentine's Day show where I was asking the students to write their little messages to their, significant other, their interests, and I would read them over the intercom. Yes, high schoolers have interests too, I know. So I was reading it over the intercom, and I applied to get into Carmack, and unfortunately, I did not get through. I didn't get through to Carmack, but I ended up doing language communication and a minor in entertainment. And I remember saying to a friend of mine, you know what? Even though I don't get through to Carmack, trust and believe I'm going to end up in media. Yeah, you don't have to ask Christ. I'm going to end up into media because that is where I think I belong. And I think it just feels right. Sometimes you just have that little feeling in your chest, like that's where it's supposed to be. That's where I'm supposed to be. And I started doing a show on Preston Hall at UE called Shark Radio. And I was the exec producer for the platform shortly thereafter. And we were broadcasting again through intercom, through the telephone lines. And I heard about auditions while on campus for different reasons. And I went to all of them. And I had lectures like Dr. Dennis Howard and Dr. Sonia Standinaya, Dr. Donna Hope, who, I would have hosted events on campus and they would have heard me speak and they would have seen me host events. And they said, boy, Debbie, you really should try to get into it. So anytime they would have heard about any auditions, they're sending it to me and telling me, hey, go show up. They're not giving me the additional information. They're not telling me nothing extra, just go show up, right? And the truth be told, I had no interest in television. I wanted to do radio because I don't like camera. I wanted to live a very private life.
Yes.
And try to do what I need to do. And TV wouldn't afford me that. So I said, you know what, let me do radio because I love radio and nobody not going to see me. I just going to hear my voice and I'm going to go to the supermarket and people going to be like, the girl on radio, man. I'm like, yeah, me know her too. And you wouldn't know, say, I'm me and my talk, And then there came an interview for Entertainment Prime. And I didn't know it was for E-Prime. I actually thought it was for RETV. Okay. And I went to do the audition with Kevin Jackson at the time, and he left shortly afterwards. And I didn't hear back from anybody. About 3-4 months, I didn't hear back from anybody. During that time, I lost my grandmother. I had so much struggle getting back to UWI to do that last year. And I remember just kind of giving up hope and said, boy, you know what? If nobody calls me back, I am going to go and volunteer my services at New Start 93 FM on campus. And I will grow from there because I love process, I don't like skipping process because process come with teaching and learning.
Yeah.
So I love process and I don't want anybody to hand me out anything at all. I want to go through the process so I can know what to do and what not to do, bump my toe and know the right lanes to walk. So I went to the auditions and trust me, Kathy, Naomi, Rochelle, I went over to 10 auditions. 10 auditions, nobody called me at all. One fine night on October 12th, I cannot forget it. At about 10 something, my phone rings in the night. I'm just there on campus. We are doing thing, with Preston Spirit, Purple Blood, Sharks, all of these things. I enjoy myself on campus, my phone ring. And the person says, this is Trevor Johnson of TVJ, and we want you to come in tomorrow. And I said, tomorrow? Like tomorrow? He said, yes, tomorrow. We want you to start doing Entertainment Prime and just come in and Sharon Schroeder is going to greet you and everything. And I was like, okay, just like that. Okay. He's like, we found your tape and we want you to come in. I said, you find my tape? I said, yeah, okay. Wow. So I got called, I went in and met Sharon Schroeder. This is Sharon Schroeder who I'm seeing on all kind of TV showing and all kind of things. And she's producer extraordinary of Rising Stars and these things. And Sharon is so lovely. Sharon has the biggest personality. She's so caring, like a mother figure. She brings me around now into the new studio and I'm looking at Michael Sharp and Derain and everybody and all these people. And I'm in utter shock. Because I'm like, okay, God, this cannot be happening to me. My grandmother looked like she showed up for me in the divine spiritual realm and she opened this door. It's something going on here so I may not understand because this is just too much for me. Also, this is TVJ. This is Larry TV. This is TVJ in the primetime on news.
Yes.
So I'm a nervous wreck because I've not received prior media training either. And all that I've learned was just based on observation and me really teaching myself. Because as the famous saying goes, luck is preparation meeting opportunity.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
with every time I got turned down from my auditions, I went home, asked the people, what did I do wrong? I realized I wasn't reading the prompter correctly. The word them either gone left me or it's going too slow and I can't really get the essence of what the content is trying to say.
Yes.
So I went home and then I started reading the crawl at the bottom part of the screen that gives you the extra news. Because I say if the words are going this way across the screen, I suppose I can catch the word them going this way, right? So that's what I did. I taught myself how to read the prompter just by the crawls underneath on the screen, on the bottom of the screen. And I went, I don't forget it. The first night I hold my hands so tight as ever. I never let it go for the first night. I was a nervous wreck and I read something and my eye them fixed on the TV. You can't see I have no experience. There is no expression. There's I Debbie, just get the script, get the lines. You just need to finish. Don't worry about nothing else, just finish. And that's how it started. That's how it started.
Wow.
Wow. You see, that's why I love this show, right? Because we have an opportunity to sit with people and hear the behind the scenes stuff, right? The stuff that we don't see, the stuff we don't get to see posted, or it's so long ago that we don't bring it back up. But that's fascinating, Debbie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a very interesting story for real.
And the rest is history.
As they say, it's history.
The story before you hatch, because people see when you hatch, but they don't know the process
Yes.
of hatching. And
Oh yeah.
the process as you grow. That's so fascinating. Now I'm gonna read crawls because let me tell you that prompter thing is hard, you know.
It is hard.
It's very hard.
It's no joke. No joke, trust me. And I mean, you're presenting in a prime time. Oh, you have people like again, Michael Sharp, Doreen Samuels. These are pioneers in the media industry. They've been doing their thing for years. You know, they can read off a script and you don't even know it's a script. You know what I mean? They are so great at their work. So trust me, it took me some time to get it, but I did. I remember one time, the general manager at the time, before Mrs. Grant, she called Sharon and said to her, watch that, you know, none of your presenter is on TV and she understands the rope. Tell her to just lower her hands a little bit, please, because it looks as though she's holding on. Looks as though she's holding on too tight. Tell her to lower her hands, so please, and just relax a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. There's another time as well, I mispronounced something and Faye Ellington called me and said, my sister, the word is bow, not bew. And I was like, thank you, Auntie Faye. Thank you so much. Teach me thy way, please. I am here at your feet.
I love it. I can literally tell her.
I got no training whatsoever.
I can hear
So to have these people be calling me and correcting me, I'm like, please correct me more. Tell me the things then when we're supposed to, when we're not doing it.
And you know
How it go? Like, show me how it go, please.
Receptive to that because not everybody would take it in that way. Like teach,
Absolutely.
let me learn.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was important to me because I mean, hearing their feedback and then having them, especially Michael Sharp, I remember being so close to him inside RJR, you know, sitting just, you know, a couple desks away from him, and we would spend nights there doing different productions and such, and he would be there very instrumental in my ear, giving me all kinds of encouragement, showing me the ropes of media, helping me to understand the business side of media, you know, things to look out for, things to not look out for. And so even with his passing, it really impacted me because I understood how impactful he was to me, you know, coming into the business, and how impactful he has been to other people, young people. Videographers like Gareth Daly can sing his praises high because of, you know, how much he was a tutor to them coming into the business. Yeah. So that's how it started, and it's been going ever since. I've done several productions. Rochelle said something. I said, boy, Rochelle, listen, man. I like Rochelle have a little way where she just go off sometime and you just want to listen to her for the whole day. And Rochelle is you need to do some videos, Rochelle, and put on YouTube. So in the same way I binge watch Steve Harvey and Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, I need you in my ears. You need to put up some motivational videos. Because you see that thing, Rochelle, like you spoke about not really owning your position and not really owning your growth and not really owning your space. Is so true, because for the longest time, I was just okay with saying, oh, I'm a television presenter and I'm a radio presenter. But to say I produced and to say I voiced, to say I've written a script, to say I've creative directed and I've directed productions, and I've worked in PR, and I've worked in brand management, and I've worked in these things. Nobody don't know because I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay, but nobody really care, and I don't know how I feel because people going to say, how you end up there, so TV me know your partner. So you end up there, so and I'm so happy that you said that, Rochelle, because it's so true. That it is your journey, and why shouldn't you own it up? Who going to own it up for you if you don't own it up?
And I think women especially struggle with that. We are not
Mhm.
taught to speak about our greatness. So
Yeah,
it feels weird. They're going to say enough. Like, why is she doing so many things?
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
we, as women, need to get over that and confidently step out and tell people we're here. As Rochelle would say, we're here, right? So Debbie, yeah,
Exactly.
mention with earlier when you were talking about the fact that you didn't want to do TV because you wanted to just the voice, go in the supermarket, people recognize the voice but still don't know it's you. But here you are. No, right? You're in all the things, right? So you're hosting, you're presenting, you're producing, you have your own show. You are in the spotlight. How
Yeah.
do you balance that, right? So how do you balance your privacy, your loved ones? We know you are a mom with Josiah. Like, how has that worked out? How are you navigating all of that?
It's hard. It's absolutely hard, no lie. And balance for me is just a day at a time, sweet Jesus. Honest to God. I have to tell you, like, there is no formula for balance for me. And concerning privacy, I think I'm the most introverted extrovert. And growing up, like my mother would tell you point blank, she didn't know I had a voice because I would not speak up. And when I'm crying, you don't hear no sound, all you seeing is tears coming down my face. So I
Mhm.
wasn't the kind of person to kind of speak up for myself, nor did I. If I disapproved of anything, you wouldn't hear anything at all coming across, because I'm the very shy, reserved kind of person. And I've had to grow, out of that a little bit, especially with media. But to some extent, especially concerning my personal life, I'm still very much that. I'm still very much reserved and private as much as I can be. Even with posting, I'm going to say this, my relationship, my partner has been the person who said, I'm not going to be the person that you are with in silence. This is not going to happen that way. And I said, all right, boss, no problem.
Listen,
Just,
he owns you proudly, as he
I'm
should.
like,
Okay?
I'm like, all right, yeah, no problem. We can do this loudly, no problem. Okay, fine. If you post me, I'll post you.
That is
So, so
hilarious.
even with that, because I trust me, I've gone through relationships and nobody don't know. Nobody don't even know who I'm with. Even people who I live near to, they don't even. It's hard because I'm sometimes very socially awkward as well. Like sometimes I don't know how to. I think about, get very caught up on okay, how is this person receiving me? How is this person seeing me? What kind of preconceived notions do they have of me? And I've had to let go and release off that as well. Concerning Sai, there was a time when I was posting a lot of him as a baby, and I said to myself, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be pushing out my son so much in the public space. Maybe one day he'll not want to be so public. Maybe he wants to be a private child. And we understand how the public is in terms of when you put out the stuff, they hold you to that, all the time, and it's a scrutiny, almost 100% of the time. They go and look at how him look, how him stay, how him, and he's a baby. He's going through his own process. He's developing. Um, we have our challenges and such, so we're still I'm still navigating motherhood. I swear to you, it's 5 years
It doesn't,
in,
it's 16 years in
but
over here. It doesn't, it's a forever navigation.
listen to me now. It's the reason why I formed Moms Can Relate. Because I remember when I just had Sai and I know nothing, I don't know nothing to do, I don't know what is
Debbie, I
happening.
totally forgot that you did that.
Yes, and know me, and this is the other part. I know you're holding
We
Rochelle to our book, but hold me to restarting the
we need
podcast
to
as well.
restart it. You need to we need it more than ever because
You
let me tell you,
listen,
it
I
doesn't
it's a
stop.
reason why, because I was so lost in terms of managing as a mother, and there were things happening with me chemically, like postpartum anxiety, not necessarily depression, but anxiety that was happening with me, and it was Janella in sharing her story that allowed me to say, boy, oh, but me I go through that, oh, but that happened to me.
just what is postpartum anxiety?
So it's a diagnosis that happens after you have your child, right? Yeah, it's a chemical imbalance in your body where you start feeling extremely anxious in like very normal, what used to be very normal situations. And it happens because your hormone levels are all over the place. Oftentimes because you're breastfeeding and you're giving to this child, you're not even replenishing yourself. I stopped taking my vitamins unknowingly because 3 months after having a baby, who me? I'm back at work.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna conquer this mommy thing. Oh, you mean I'm coming in at night, I'm breastfeeding, and I'm back at work in the morning and I can do it all. No child is going to confine me to this. I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do all of it. And then not realizing, say, girl, you're not getting the sleep, you're not taking vitamins, you're not doing the things them to help your body. And my nerves just go downhill to the
Wow.
point where I even started hallucinating one time. And I remember going home to my father, like, drag, because I'm like, this feel weird. Something no right here, something is off. And I remember going inside my car and I even forgot how to drive. And I remember praying to God. I said, God, something is weird here, and I felt very anxious in just normal situation. You're asking me about a question that needs solution. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you coming at me with, this thing to solve now?
Yeah.
Very unusual behaviors, and Janella spoke about it openly on her platform, and I said to myself, that boy, this seems very similar. So I started to call up these mothers, Tammy Chin,
Yeah.
and Rasheen Roper, and Sadika as well. These are mummies who we basically had babies along the same time. And we started talking about the whole experience. Tammy, as a more experienced mother, was able to kind of help us to navigate what was happening and shed some light on it and say, boy, this is normal. Don't worry. Don't get too panicky. It's okay to not know everything. And I had to go home to my father and, like good country people, Rochelle know this, they nursed me back to life. They gave me back some soursop leaf tea. And they said, boy, Debs, you have to go back to taking your vitamins again, get some sleep. And that was it. But I had to form that space because I just wanted to be able to learn as well, but to also inform mothers who were also searching for information and just a roadmap to deal with this thing called motherhood, because it don't come with no manual.
We're all,
Yeah,
we're all winging it. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
If you think about wing it, may I tell you, no, no, you know what I thought recently? I was like, you just a cut and go through life and stuff and feeling like good about yourself and like you're like, I just give myself an award for awesomeness. And last night, Christian would not go to sleep. And every minute, like this is me. I'm going to sleep. Watch him over me, bad, bad, like that. I'm said that you tell us we're fighting tonight. I'm gonna fight you. Just fighting. Like our generation of women, we put so much pressure on ourselves. Like you're supposed to have baby, and next week you fly plane, and you just jump off of one building, and all of these things. Like, but back in the days, my mother said to me the other day, people used to get a time to come back to where you wear your duster and your head tie, and you drink porridge, and your body come back to. We not allow ourselves.
We don't do that. It's the bounce back culture. Like you have to bounce back after the pregnancy and
Exactly.
back to doing all the things.
I'm back to doing all the things.
I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to do anything right now when I'm not pregnant.
Yeah. The other thing is that it is, and one of the things I've always admired about you, Debbie, is that you enjoy Josiah. So even as we're going through, and it's not every day we're going to get it right, but what we can get right is the enjoyment of the journey. Because Nai reminds me all the time that there's a day you will open his door and he's like, could you leave?
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Listen, it starts already.
Or like strange, like what?
No, it starts already. It starts already. It starts already because usually, when he's younger, I would drop him off to school. I say, kiss, kiss, honey, kiss, kiss, and he kisses. Now he kisses and then wipes it off and then runs away. And I'm just there like, I wonder if you know someone take the snack them out of your snack bag and just don't give him no snack.
I think we all touching that mindset right now, Johnny, when he started not wanting to kiss me in prep school before coming out the car. I'm sure I can't remember what the threat was, but there was a threat.
No, I believe you.
Yes.
There's definitely a threat.
The thing with you too is, You are like just a tapestry of just gifts that you have allowed yourself, you've given yourself permission to tap into your gifting. And you said something earlier about the process that
Process comes with teaching and learning.
yeah, but you know that you don't shy away from the process,
Yeah.
because we see end product, but you don't get to end product without process. And there is no end product because we're constantly learning. And when I see we said Debbie come from Clarendon and she go like Clarendon College and so, because you have a voice that could have sound like Upper St. Andrew, and then you come from Upper. And when them see with farm chicks, them I say, what Debbie know about farming? Because Debbie don't come from country. What is that part of the journey like? What's wonderful about it is that you're bringing in country life, but you're also bringing your sister. So family is a part of it. You're always celebrating your sister, which is also a teaching moment as people are watching. Sometimes they don't say nothing, but hear them not like, as someone wish me like the sister. Like. Tell us about the farm chicks journey. What's that like working with your sister?
No, let me tell you. I mean, oh God, farm chicks. So I do media, and I think I do media pretty okay, right? And I understand
The media
production.
well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Very well.
I do media well.
Okay.
I do media well, and I love it. I love creating. I love pairing media with concepts because I think that no, not I think I know the interest over time, not only from Paula Ann, but also seeing people like Oprah Winfrey. We hear Oprah all the time, but I don't take it lightly. When I see Oprah as a black woman, and when I was watching Oprah Winfrey, it was a time when black wasn't popular, you know, and representation is absolutely important because it shows us what's possible. And so seeing Oprah on TV and hearing Oprah stand on her truth and be that voice, be that light of, and be that sound of reason across genders, across, race, across persuasions, that was big for me because I felt like, well, you know what? If Oprah Winfrey can do something spectacular in life, I also can do something spectacular in life. And so pairing media for me with concepts is such a big deal because you can literally put almost anything on screen. And it's important that we do put things on screen because people need to know, people need to understand what's available to them, people need to understand what's possible because that's where they go to. Now we have the World Wide Web, we have social media, etc. It's important that people like you, Rochelle, go online and we give a word of the day and just ignite people's spirit. It's important. So Naomi, go online and tell people about PR and what to do and what not to do. It's important that Kathy go on there and talk about brand building and connecting people. It's so important because we have people who are watching. They may not like, they may not even share, but trust and believe them watch and them learn and they come back to feed themselves. And so for me, having a media background and seeing the gap concerning how agriculture is represented was a big thing for me. Not only that, but because again, I come from country, I come from Clarendon, and the farming experience and the agricultural experience was always a big part of my life. Like a ritual. Saturday, we know so we're in a market with daddy, I ball on the prices, and I walk up and down with the banana, and I have the tear up market bag I hold on for dear life, the market bag where I make out of plastic where say they it last, but him not give it up because him not gonna buy no new one just yet. You know. You understand? So we did there with them, and then we'll walk on and navigate the market and I find out who have the best prices on potato, who have the best prices on yam, and we have that. And then in our backyards, even growing up, like before there was regulations concerning what you can do and can't do in communities. My father had goats in his backyard, and he had over 100 goats in the backyard at the time. We live in a country, and from our yard there was the bush. So we carry the goat them at daytime, in the morning time, carry them go bush, and then come back in the evening, and they come home ritualistically. Sometimes like them program that way, them know where them yard is, them go straight. And I had two goats called Bella and Blacker at the time. Don't laugh after me, Cathy. At the time, Bella and Blacker are my favorite comedians, and yeah, I have a goat them with them Bella and Blacker. And I ride them on the back of it, go back home, So, yeah, man. And then after the goat, then there came, there was chicken. There was always something happening in the back of the yard. There was chicken, and then there was eggs. And up until my father transitioned last year, he was selling eggs to the community and to people. And then even the other day I went home, when I look, mommy plant up the whole of the backyard with banana. She have sweet potato under the ground. She had tell me that she watch Farm Chicks and I learned so much about her peppers and what not to do. And she wonder why this not come. And now she realized that this is the reason why it not come. And having had we have children now. My sister have 2 kids. I have 2 kids, and we understand the connection between what we eat and how we live.
Yes.
You know, my parents, certain things runs in the family like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, that kind of thing. We know that those things are connected to the things that we eat
Yeah.
and the kind of lifestyle that we do have. And so when we think about it, and when I started doing a lot more research, I started traveling some more. We go places like South Korea and we hear, oh, we eat for health first. We don't eat for taste, we eat for health first. I said, okay, well, this is the reason why these people are living for so long. This is the reason why them age backwards. And up until when I'm 100, them still moving up and down, same way, hearty as ever, And when you go to places like Dubai, you look at the sustainability. And I was so privileged to be able to visit those places. And I love culturally immersive experiences where I'm looking at how people do what they do, why them do it, and how to bring it back to my country and how to add it now to our life. And so we said, okay, well, I went home and I said to my mom that they said, boy, I have this concept called Farm Chick, and I don't think I want to do it by myself. I feel like I want to include Becky in it. And I think that farming really works even better when you include your family. So we sit down over it and we say, yeah, man, and we start navigate it and stuff. And we tell them, I want to go around to the farmers. We think about it, and they actually helped me in putting it all together. My sister was game from the jump, and them I said, boy, it's going to be a big thing because the farmer, them want to see themselves and they want to talk about them journeys. They have so much struggles and they have things that they want to talk about. But also when you look at the country, and I love thinking big like this because the things that I'm a part of, it has to be impactful. It can't be for me alone. It has to be for generations to come. And when you look at our country, you look at our importation bill and you look how high it is in comparison to what we're exporting, that for me is alarming.
Yeah. Very.
It's alarming. You're talking about over $2 billion in terms of import for the year, every year. And so Jamaica, as we know it as a Caribbean country, strategically positioned for us to actually do things in agriculture and sustain ourselves. We have so much land, unused land, unoccupied land. We're surrounded by sea.
Yes.
Like, why do we have water problems? You know what I mean? Like, why is it that we have water problem and we're surrounded by sea? Why is it that we can't get the water from land? You know what I mean? Like, just that kind of innovation is lacking. And I've always encouraged young people, research, do the stuff what you need to do. Research, look at other countries and look how they've managed to utilize, that kind of innovation and technology, and come back to Jamaica and let's fix it. You know what I mean? Like, let's find solutions for our country. And I think about the kind of world that my child will grow in, my sister's sons will grow in. What's going to happen to them when we grow old? What's going to happen when we're not there to safeguard them and keep them and help them to navigate life? So we started Farm Chicks just out of that reasoning, let's just do something sustainable and something impactful. And it has been such an amazing experience. When I tell us the boy, the farmer, them love it. Them love to themselves on show. But because they have so much good information to offer, and people weekly messages all the time and say, boy, because of Farm Chicks, we start our own little backyard farm. Now we're growing peppers, we're growing sweet potatoes, we're growing melons, we're growing these things that are so easy. Literally just pot, soil, seed. And you look out for your pests, and there's so much offerings concerning pests and pesticides and fungicides. And even if you're growing organically, there are plants you can intercrop with to help to ward off pests. If you don't want to use no chemical, you can do that too. But just a matter of starting. Yeah. And also when you look at a larger scale, okay, fine, even if you don't want to just do it on a small scale for your family, do it on a bigger scale and go into business with it. You have farmers who are generating a lot of money.
Good, well.
A lot of money. Not little bit of money, not 95 money. A lot of money. That's even C-suite money. Enough money. Yep. Right? Just from farming, and they're not even exporting yet. Yes, they haven't even started to tap into the export market yet. Just from what they produce, no, they're doing that.
And we have lots of companies which are farmers that only focus on export because they cannot satisfy the demand.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll tell you that Jamaica can't produce enough to supply. So that means that no matter how much you think that you're not doing sufficient still. Sweet potatoes are high on the export market. You have mangoes are now having
Mango,
the
yeah.
demand for it internationally. So you
Pepper,
just
Scotch bonnet,
pepper,
high demand,
it's
and it's a
turmeric.
fast growing product. You know how many musicians I know that have gone into farming since COVID?
Okay, yep. Turmeric that became a hit over the COVID period because you had so many people understanding the medicinal value of turmeric,
Yeah,
against mucus, etc. And them just
turmeric,
Jamaica
elixir,
produces turmeric and started exporting turmeric, and we need more of that. Even things like mushrooms,
sea
some
moss,
mushrooms that can sea moss, you
Right.
know,
But it's
black
funny.
and
soil. There's like so many.
If you see Debbie on her different platforms, you say to yourself, "Oh, I didn't know so much about farming and
Yes,
agriculture." I love it.
yeah.
and I have a distinction in agricultural science from CC. So I did agricultural science,
Oh,
and my
so she
teacher ran into him the
qualified.
other day, and
She'll
him
tell
just big
you.
me up.
But
Oh,
you
I
know
love
that
that.
you are bringing, and it's using whatever platform that you have. So you are using your platform to take some of the mystique out of farming and some of what we've showed it in, because our farmers have traditionally said to their children, we want you to turn doctor and lawyer, rather than how are we going to build this and build generational wealth from this generation to the next generation. We have looked down on farming, and now we have to reverse it because we realize that we cannot feed ourselves.
We have to. We have to. We have to. We have to. I visited a couple of farms. Two young guys. One of them just started exporting peppers in Clarendon, and another he was living in Trinidad as an engineer, and he came back to Jamaica, and he imported some greenhouse equipment. Build up two greenhouses. He's doing aquaponics and hydroponics. So he's growing lettuce in water, no soil.
Nice.
And yeah, man, is a whole vibe. They say Russia looking at me,
It's
and he's growing strawberries in water right throughout the year. Yes, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
man. And so he started all of that, and he had no prior background in farming because
Yeah,
people think that you need to have some kind of previous experience in farming. These people don't have no previous experience in farming. Them literally learned from YouTube University and went on there and just learn along the way and made mistakes and pick up themselves and go again.
Yeah.
And that's it. You just have to start. You just have to start because I
You just
I
have to
particularly I
start.
never, apart from what I did with my family, I don't have no big background in farming, but I have background in media. So we're going to
exactly.
learn and we're going to put this content together, and we're going to learn from the people who have the expertise, and we're going to bring it across to the people who need to know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
We love it.
So there's so many questions, and I mean, we could be here all evening. And I don't want us to not go into our best advice segment because there's just so many questions that I think you would be able to pour into our viewers.
Yes.
As much as you sometimes shy away from owning the presence that you have and the impact that you have,
Mhm.
what's the best advice that you would give, or the best advice that you've received about being confident and about being outspoken? And like you said about Oprah, living in your truth.
Yeah. Um, Couple of things. When I was younger, I used to read a lot. I need to read. I read as often as I did back then, but I read a lot, and one of the awareness that came to me was you pass this way one time,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get a redo. You don't get a redo. And I've come face to face with that a couple of times in my life, losing relatives, and these people don't. They've passed on. They've transitioned. Some of them got to live the life that they wanted to. Some of them didn't for various reasons, etc.
Yeah.
But it passes away one time. You don't get a redo. So you see, the main event is happening right now. Actually, this is not a rehearsal. This is it, right? This is a tour. This is a tour, right? So because you pass this way one time, you have to be the best you that you can be, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to come glamorous. You just have to do as best as you can every single day with the time that you have. Time is for me one of the most valuable assets that we have, not money, not anything else.
Yes.
Once I have time, I can do anything. I can make anything. I can make the money. I can make the experiences, etc. But I just need the time. And so because that's all we actually have, right now, as we are sitting here, we have to make the most of it, because we don't know. I literally saw my father the day before he passed away. And to
Oh,
me, looking at that man, he wasn't sick or anything. He meet me at the gas station. We exchanged words. He gave me back my nephew. We had a good time laughing and talking. And the following day, he had a double heart attack.
wow,
Unexpected.
wow.
Unexpected. You know what I mean? And he was actually getting ready to leave the house to go somewhere. So you
Yeah.
don't know. Sometimes you don't know when it's going to be your last breath. So you have to really and truly make full use of the time that you have here on earth. And also, just know says you alone name what your name. There is no other you in the world. No,
Yeah.
it's true. There is not a Rochelle Cameron living in Hawaii somewhere. There's
No,
not another Catherine Goodall living in Denmark. There's not a Naomi living in Australia. This is
well,
you.
actually, there is a Naomi Garrett that lives in England. I found her
Well,
on.
in
That's
England.
several,
It's
several.
still not me. It's not this. It's not this
But it's
Naomi
not
Garrett.
you.
One.
It's not you. The name may be the thing, but it's not you. There's a certain unique quality about who you are that you bring to the table that nobody else can bring. Nobody else can bring.
Absolutely.
And even if you end up in the profession with a lot of other people just and you feel bad about it or weird about it, like you don't feel like you're shining through, look down a bread aisle or a water aisle in the supermarket.
Yep.
You have several brands of bread, you have several brands of water. But trust and believe, everybody have them audience and somebody picking up for them favorite and then buying it. You
Everybody
understand?
has their
So
favorite.
everybody has their favorites. So you just do the best that you can do. You just do the best that you can do with every moment that you have and seize the moment. And don't, this is me talking to myself as well. Don't be afraid to unearth all the talents that you do have.
Yeah.
So one of my talents that I've been sitting on for years is singing because I can sing very well and people don't know.
Yes. Well,
Well,
people pay
yes.
attention when you're hosting. They will hear your boss attitude.
I can sing very, very well. That's, everybody actually thought in my community that I would sing first, not media, not anything else but singing. And my sister now, who sings, she sings professionally. She sings in the hotel circuit. She does that very well, But I do sing, and I love to sing. I was a part of the choir right up until university because I was a part of JYC. I was a part of Quilt. I was a part of all of those performing arts group.
Say no, they make a boss
So
boss.
yeah.
You don't say you forgot boss attitude. Make
I
everybody.
can't bust a tune for it today because I've been talking all weekend long. So my horse right now.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
holding on for dear life, but I promise you I will bust a tune soon.
We are
All
not going to
right.
lose it. So,
Send us a video
I
so we can
promise.
share it.
And I promise I bust a tune soon. No, I really intend to really unlock and kind of utilize that particular talent very soon. But I really feel like you just do something, and even if you fail, it's just a lesson. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the road. The whole sum and the whole summary of who you are. It's just a matter of you just go through this thing. My mom said to me, say, boy, Debs, life is a series of projects. And you just have to finish them one by one and move on. Don't feel like one part of the project define exactly who you are.
mm,
You have to just keep moving and keep growing and feeling good about all parts of you, the good, the bad, the indifferent. Just keep moving forward.
That's
Yeah.
excellent advice. So, Debbie, we think about you as a TV host, a radio host, a podcaster, an event host. You can basically, and Rochelle said it earlier, you can step into a room and everybody knows who you are, you command a presence, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have built your brand. What advice would you give, or what's the best advice that you've received about building your brand?
Um, be open, be empathetic, and offer grace to people. You have to know that we don't come off a conveyor belt. We're not all the same. And we are from different backgrounds, different persuasions, all of that. So you have to be open to people. Because all of us were going through the human experience, all of us, and
mhm.
at different levels, we're going through the human experience. So I think one of the reasons why I've been able to talk to anybody, from the security guard to the man who clean up the streets to the people in the offices in the people who wear them tie up here, so is the fact that I remain open. I remain open to learning. I listen and I empathize with people's experiences, because all of us are going through life. All of us are having the human experience. So that I think has helped me a lot. and I try my very best, not to put any kind of preemptive position concerning people. Even if me hear things about you, me now come to you with the things I want me hear.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. You and that the person that had that the kind of encounter there, me, you never have that kind of encounter. So I
Mhm.
can't take that and judge you
Yeah.
until I've had my own experience with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, I try my very best to remain very neutral concerning interactions with people because I want to have my own experience with you. There are people who say, boy, this a person here, I like Anthony Miller. How you get Anthony if you smile, Debbie? How you get Anthony if you laugh? How you get Anthony Miller? What? Anthony Miller on social media? But Anthony and I have a very good relationship. We laugh at each other, and I trouble him sometime and I say, boy, you're grinchy bad to the man. Things like that because I've come to accept him for who he is.
Yeah.
I don't try to change him. I don't try to say, boy, or put onto him my own thoughts about who he needs to be.
Mhm.
Who am I to get to truth and tell you who you need to be to fit my own insecurity and all of that? No, I'm not doing that to you. You're going to give me you because I want you. I want to learn more about you. I want to understand you. And then and I'm hoping that you give me as well that kind of,
Yeah.
room to be
Yeah.
myself and
Yeah.
accept me as well. And if you don't, then fine, no problem. But I try to do that with people. I try my very best to do that with people. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rochelle has a question that when she introduced it to us, it gave all of us pause. And I'm going to ask her to ask you that question.
This serious. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Debbie, as you were talking and you said that singing is that talent that you still are left to unearth, and I just want to make it clear to everybody that if I could sing, y'all would know.
Couldn't shut her up.
We would know for sure.
I'm just saying, y'all would know if I could sing. Let's just
Yeah.
be clear, because I'd be singing right now to y'all.
Yep.
But I have just always been just in awe of the journey of Debbie and how you show up all the time. And you talked about grace. You talked about showing up with grace and treating people with grace. And as you were talking, I thought of just all these adjectives to describe you. But earlier we said that we are not very good at acknowledging ourselves and our part on the journey. When you think of the journey of Debbie Bissoon to right this moment, I know the Grammy Award is to come, but if you were to give yourself an award right this moment today, what award would you give to Debbie?
Oh my God. What a question, Rochelle. Is where you dig that up, no rush. You dig that up somewhere now, so you dig that up somewhere. Oh my God. Oh my God. Um, I'm gonna say the Phoenix Award because I've had my ashes and I've
Mm.
had many a experience that would have crippled me. Things
Mm.
that a lot of people would not know about, and I've not spoken about it because um when I do eventually speak about it, I want to speak about it from the standpoint of overcoming, because again, I tell us the representation is very important, right? So for people who would have been going through similar experiences or have gone through similar things, I want them to be able to feel like I'm a relatable resource. So I would give myself the Phoenix Award because I always keep rising from the ashes. One of my favorite plants is an orchid, and the reason why is because no matter how you think an orchid is dead, no
It
matter how much you think the orchid dead, just give it back some water and put it in a sunlight, you see? It don't even need much to grow, but it will grow and bloom and blossom, you see, man?
Yeah.
So I love orchids and I love things that always, it keep resurrecting
Yes.
because the challenges of life are coming out, trust me, and them come in all forms, them beat you bad left, right, and center, them come to throw you off. But the truth is, if you keep rising from the ashes, there'll be another day to soar,
Yeah.
So that is my award to myself, the Phoenix Award.
I love that. Debbie, where can people find you?
Okay, so it's at Debbie Bissoon on all the platforms at Debbie Bissoon. See there on the screen, and it's two S's, two O's, and an N. That's it right there. So follow me.
We can't believe that an hour has gone by already. The time too
I
short.
know.
So you know that you
Yeah.
have to, when we call you to come and do the live stage, you have to say yes.
No, I'm gonna say yes. Like I'm not gonna tell Catherine no ever in life. I would never tell Naomi no. I would never tell Rochelle no. Like this is not gonna
We have
happen.
it,
Never,
we have
Yay.
it,
ever.
we have it
Once I can, I'm gonna be
recorded.
there.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have this recorded, so
Yes, I'm there. And I'm very happy that, listen to me. Can I tell you something? I'm so proud of you, ladies. I'm so proud of I love this community that you have formed. And I think it's such a powerhouse community because not often do we see Caribbean women coming together and building such great institutions, And I think we're powerful, but as women, we're powerful. We underestimate our power. And when we're coming in with different strengths and different backgrounds, Rochelle, the lawyer, Naomi, PR, Catherine, brand specialist, you're coming in with such great value, and I believe that if we continue to kind of put our all our values together and work together, we can conquer some of the mountain them where
listen.
pants, may I tell you, say, they want to block up the place and
Yes.
just act like we're not in a room. I want in a room at the table and the table full up with no accommodation. Yeah, we can
Listen,
build up our own table.
Rochelle and I had a very informal conversation today about that exact,
See,
Listen, we can build up
exact.
our own table and let them come knock up.
Exactly. Make them come now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Love you,
Debbie.
ladies. Thank
I'm
you.
So
here for it.
much.
Thank you.
wow,
Thank you
Debbie.
so much,
But
Debbie.
Debbie, as you're going, as I just seeing you on screen, and the thing that just dropped in my spirit is the best is yet to come. There
Woo!
is so much more to unfold for the brand that is Debbie, for how you're going to impact.
Yes. I just get goosebumps, Rashi. Yes.
Thank you.
Lord is opening doors for you to cause change in people's lives. And you said we have to represent, because in representing we're showing it can be done. And know that you are showing. I know some days you wake up and you are exhausted and you're like, God, why did I say yes to this and to that? But know that every time you are showing up, there's somebody there that was praying
Mm,
for you, praying to
mm.
hear, praying to hear that voice, praying for something that they said.
Yes.
And maybe the best is yet to come, girl.
Yes.
Best is yet to come.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
Thank you,
Roshi.
Rosh. I received that. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Lord, me never come here to ball.
Ah,
What is wrong with
Listen,
you?
we got
let's
every
start
week business
complaining
this.
about this in every episode now.
Every week
We're now the crime
business.
show.
Exactly.
We have become the crime show.
Exactly.
It was really
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks to your audience. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Woohoo!
Yay.
interesting.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Debbie.
Thank you, ladies. I just sign off and just leave our wait.
Yeah,
It's
man.
nice.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for another week. We look forward to next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Follow us on all of our platforms at Ready to Emerge. And look out for more information about September 18th. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.